clear frontrunners beginning to emerge in the crowded Republican 2016 field. Jeb Bush, Marco Rubio, and Scott Walker at the top of the brand new Wall Street Journal. I think it's ABC News poll. No, it's NBC News poll. Excuse me. Donald Trump didn't make the top 10. One more note. The same poll asked which issues worry Republicans when it comes to this and other elections. Number one-third of Republicans say it's money having too much influence. This from the party that solidly backs Citizens United, and mega donors like the Koch brothers and Sheldon Adelson. Quickly around the room, the top trio that seems to have emerged, Jeb Bush, Scott Walker, and Marco Rubio. Is one of the nominees coming from that trio? And if there's a sleeper, who cracks that top three?
I think so. I think you're starting to see a surge with Carly Fiorina. She might get up there. Kasich,
she was at the bottom of this poll, so was Kasich.
But there's another, the PPP poll that came out had her at almost 10%. So I think she'll make it into the debates. I'm not saying she's going to get the nomination.
Who
but
could crack that top three tier?
I think Kasich definitely has an opportunity. It depends. Like it's anyone's game right now. It's all name ID. It's way too early to.
Jeannie, you agree?
You know, I have a hard time believing that Fox News is going to go through this debate without putting Donald Trump on there, I have to say. And I understand the results of that. But if you are Roger Ailes and you want good TV and ratings, he goes in there. Somehow you get him in there. So I think we could see a Donald Trump.
Michael, I was surprised by the issue question that said that one-third of Republican voters are concerned about the influence of money in politics. How risky is this for the GOP?
It's not risky at all because people compartmentalize their thinking, and the Republican voters and independent voters that lean Republican will still vote Republican. But you'd have to be deaf, dumb, and blind to not be worried, regardless of party or where you're from, about the influence of big money in politics.
Let's not forget who's raising the most money is going to be Hillary Clinton. She's a Democrat, so Republicans are right to be concerned.
I think it is an issue that cuts across party lines. I think it's an issue that is almost divorced from what people are going to do on Election Day in the voting booth, because I think it's universal. It's a universal concern the same way Republican voters are also worried about income inequality. It's everywhere.
Think about this. A Republican debate without Donald Trump.
Well, Chris Christie might be there. Chris Christie might be there.
No, he won't. And no one's going to watch a debate with Donald Trump.
It's going to be fun.
Even people that are Democrats are going to watch that to see what he may say.
All right, so with that in mind, we have poll watchers and political strategists and campaign strategists, and Dominic.
So which one am I?
You're just Dominic. You're representing the media.
Your own category.
So I'm putting you all on the payroll of some of these bottom tier candidates, whether it's Trump or Pataki or Fiorina or whomever it may be. What do you tell them? How do they boost themselves into the top 10 to get themselves into the debate, Jessica?
Well, a big part of it is retail right now because they need to get known. It's all name ID. It's not a lack. If you ask the question of like who they can see, who Republican primary voters can see themselves supporting, it's just because they know who the names of the candidates now. That's why Jeb is.
So just keep doing what you're doing and try to get it to more people.
No, I mean, look, you want to get press, right? So maybe you pick a fight with somebody. You know,
be contrarian.
You got to get in the news. Exactly.
Be contrarian, get in the news. Yeah. If you're Governor Pataki, you highlight your pro-environment. Come on, I like the guy.
No, I do
too. No, but you got to
You highlight your environmental record. You highlight some of your socially moderate positions. You talk about. No, it gets you news, and then it's retail.
I mean, he's been spending a ton of time in New Hampshire, and it is. People pay attention. They like you to show up. They like you to go to all these dinners.
It's town halls. It's coffee.
Jeannie, what do you do if you're in that bottom tier?
Unfortunately, what you have to do is you have to attack somebody or say something mildly crazy to get in that top tier, and that's what we're going to see. You've seen candidates going out on the ledge when you have a field this crowded and you are George Pataki talking about the environment or your economic plan. I like George Pataki. I agree, and I like George Pataki an enormous amount. He's not going to get any press. You go outside of New York, people still don't know who he is unless he does something mildly crazy. And that's the unfortunate situation.
And Dominic, we're out of time in this segment. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, President Obama just went on comedian Mark Maron's podcast called WTF. He's also visited Zach Galifianakis on his web show Between Two Ferns. Sure, he's having fun, but he's also discussing some serious issues. Are these the wrong venues for that? And then more on our debate about his use of the N-word.